Hello everybody, welcome to our first session. Since we are going to deal with the Gospel of John, I thought it would be a good idea to give an overview of what exactly the Gospels are. So the Gospels are, in a literary sense, are Greek-Roman biographies which are based on eyewitness accounts. And it's really important because many people think that the Gospels are myths or some kind of fictions, but stylistically speaking, they are Greek-Roman biographies, and it gives a lot of headaches to people who think that the Gospels are fake or history because it doesn't fit the literary style, and the style is very casual in a sense that it's talking about he did that. Oh, by the way, Jesus raised the dead, and many scholars don't know what to do with this fact. And there are four Gospels. So John, the one we are starting with, is the one who shows Christ from his God side. He shows his deity. That's why the Gospel of John's got very high Christology. He shows his deity. He shows where he came from, how he relates to the Father. Matthew, he shows him as a Jewish Messiah. And in the Old Testament, there was this motif that the Jews were waiting for the Messiah. They even asked, in one of the Gospels, they asked John the Baptist if he was the Messiah who they were expecting to come. Mark, Mark showed him as the suffering servant. Again in the Old Testament there was this motive, who was the suffering servant, who was the Lord's anointed, and he was to bring salvation to the people. Luke, however, he shows depicts Jesus from his human side, and it's interesting because when you start with Matthew or Luke, they both have genealogies, and the genealogy between Matthew and Luke, they differ because Matthew shows him from his Messiah, from his Jewish side, he traces Jesus all the way back to Adam. So he shows how Jesus is the Jewish Messiah. Luke shows the genealogy from his mother's side, or from another side, from a human side. It's interesting that many people don't notice that John has a genealogy as well. And we're going to talk about it, how Jesus came from the God, because he was God, but then he became flesh. So in a sense, it's a genealogy as well. So there are differences between the Gospels, but the differences are because how the authors wanted to depict Jesus with different agenda, from a different perspective. And even chronologically, there could be differences, but it's not necessarily a bad thing that that there are chronological differences, that they run not in chronological order, because sometimes the authors group the events thematically by themes, so they want to point something out. And it's interesting that the Gospels are extremely accurate historically, geographically, archaeologically, and especially the Acts. For example, if somebody wants to do an archaeological digging around Jerusalem, if that person would like to get a grant without taking the four Gospels and the Acts of the Apostles, which was also written by Luke, not just the Gospel of Luke, that person wouldn't even be given the grant. They are so accurate, and that is why I said that many skeptics don't know what to do with the Gospel being so accurate and such a casual piece of work. And then you also have the miracle side of it, which the two just doesn't fit. That's why many people say the reason they are there because they happen, because it doesn't fit the literary genre that they would otherwise have put these events in those Gospels. Okay, we shall carry on.